Here's a taste of Leonia Reads, September 10th, 2011. We begin with Joan Comiskey.
Apparently, I was the final evidence that the marriage was over. The village boasted of a population of about 100. Its insignificance was marked for all to see by an entry in a local guidebook mentioning that this area, in quotes, was on the road to Dublin, quote, nothing else. Our surroundings consisted of 2 groceries, 1 church, 1 school, 1 post office, 8 public houses, one of which my grandmother ran, and that's the house we grew up in, and a police station. We boasted of our security being assured with 1 police sergeant and 2 guards. We also had a white sheepdog that had adopted the police and slept all day in the fresh air. Most of the villagers were poor. 1 or 2 owned small farms. We had a garage, and the owner acted as driver for special events, usually funerals, and he repaired tractors. The shoemaker saved shoes for as long as he could with clever stitching, but his abuse of alcohol would cause him to go on benders. His wife and 5 children would pray that all the shoes on the shelf would be repaired as he sobered. Life in the village was placid, predictable, and at times grey and depressing. Weather was generally overcast. Summer could offer some light and glimpses of sun, but a bad day could be forecast any time. The diversion of the day when we were young was a bus, which went to Dublin 3 days a week. The bus stopped at the post office, and as kids we watched as people, never more than 2 people, boarded to spend the day in the big city, a place we only dreamt of. Returning late at night, the bus brought us the evening paper, promised to our house, but only after the bus driver and his helper had read all of it. My grandmother had the first read, then our mother. Finally, we girls got the comics. This small breath of outside air sustained us. Any change in our routine energized us, and we missed the comics if they failed to show. Church attendance was the highlight of the village. Sunday Mass was heavily attended. Confessions on 1 Saturday in the month was a procedure.
Next, Christian Garaud.
1. Quiet, alone. We both live in a house that seems large because of the silence. From the kitchen in the distance, I hear the rumble of cars and his voice calling me. Are you there? I'm preparing breakfast. For a long time, there is a sound of water and words. What did you say? Nothing. It also happens to me to tell secrets to the sharp head. 3. He's going to be late for school. I tell him, hurry up. Then he starts running. I tell him, slow down. He is used to me and leaves without stumbling on my warnings. 4. He concentrates on his. He stopped drawing. What time is it? 6 o'clock. He picks up his pencil and I pick up my book. When I see his watch on his wrist, I wonder whether he was really asking for the time. 6. What is truth? He asks me. Distracted, I answer, the cat has my tongue. What is truth? He asks the cat. The cat looks in the distance, as if he were thinking. Then he eyes back on the child. He answers, meow. There it is, the child shouts. I now know what is truth. 7. We play ping pong. 10-12, I'm losing. 15-13, I'm winning. Suddenly he asks me, when are you going to die? I hesitate. 19-21, he wins. What should I do? Make a joke? But he takes his ball without asking for an answer. 8. One evening, forgetting the TV, he turns his head. I love you. And you, do you love me? Yes. We finish dinner. with no other question. 9. I'm going out. Me too. We walk in the park among flowers and bushes. In the night he calls out. When he becomes silent, we listen to the chirping of crickets, the croaking of frogs, and the quiet sound of our slow steps of hominids. 10. You think about Mom? Yes, I have a hard time going to sleep. I'm going to read. Me too. Under the lamp, we both wait in silence for sleep or forgetting. The reading is over. The light is turned off. The door is closed. A voice shouts, "You don't kiss me?" Yes. I climb back up. The voice falls silent. The night can begin. 12. Quiet, alone, in a house that seems large because of the silence. I hear in the distance the rumble of cars and the voice calling me. Are you there? Is it his voice? Is it mine?
A little bit of Fred Stern reading a poem about Audubon.
How darkness falls on the Ohio, or the new deer move through the birch woods, and owls swing their way through the moors. Bo, 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 trills the powdered marquis. He will not buy, sings Audubon, as he travels the Shenandoah, down the Palais Royal and the Missouri, up the Tuileries.
And the last few words of a poem by David Buckley.
As if with swollen words they might yet be made partially whole again.
This was just a taste of Leonia Reads.